Explain the rationale for removing from the Prime Minister that which every Prime Minister has received up until this point.
Well, no Prime Minister before has been found to have misled the House of Commons and the British people on so many occasions. Boris Johnson is now the most disgraced former Prime Minister in British history. And while I totally support the cross-party Privileges Committee's report, I think now we look to the Prime Minister to show some leadership. Rishi Sunak has been quite weak on this. He's kowtowed to his backbenchers, to people in the Conservative Party who still won't face the facts about Boris Johnson. And Rishi Sunak should therefore withdraw this lifetime allowance. Boris Johnson will be paid £115,000 a year for the rest of his life to organise his offices. I mean, I just don't think that sits alongside this report. He deserves further punishment for sure.
You mentioned Rishi Sunak there. Downing Street continuing to inform us that he is taking his time to go through the report, and we will have statement from them at some point. But there has been a suggestion this morning that, for perfectly normal reasons, the Prime Minister might not be able to attend the vote on Monday. If Rishi Sunak were to swerve the vote on the Privileges Committee report, what would that signal?
Well, it confirms yet again his weakness. He said when he became Prime Minister that he wanted to bring back integrity and accountability to British government. Well, he keeps failing, and this would be a massive failure if he doesn't join Parliament in holding the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson to account. What I would say from the Liberal Democrat perspective is that we should get this debate on this report out of the way quickly and get it back onto the issues that matter to British people. Now, there are millions of families and pensioners who are suffering from the cost of living crisis. Their mortgages, in particular now, going up massively. Liberal Democrats have proposals to help people with those mortgages, and we need to get back to those issues.
You're not suggesting, however, that, partygate, the idea that inside Number 10, officials and politicians were breaking the rules whilst the rest of us were stuck at home. You're not suggesting that that doesn't matter to people?
No, it matters immensely. That's why Liberal Democrats have come up with a powerful sanction against the Prime Minister. All those people who were bereaved during COVID, those tens of thousands of bereaved families, they need to see justice. And what Liberal Democrats are putting forward is a proposal, if the Prime Minister was strong enough, to mete out that justice to the former Prime Minister. But what I also say is that millions of people are fed up with this. They know he's guilty. Let's get on with that, vote that, punish him, and get on to the issues that are affecting people's lives. And, we've seen what's happening in the mortgage market. There are millions of people out there who are deeply worried. We're already seeing repossessions of people's homes going up 50% in the last 3 months. There's a crisis out there, and the government is so chaotic, so divided, so focused on the past, it's not able to deal with the huge struggle facing the British people. And so that's why Liberal Democrats keep coming forward with positive alternative proposals. And the Conservatives seem incapable of dealing with people's problems.
Sure, but sorry, you're suggesting going further, even further than the Privileges Committee decided to go. But were you not surprised by the sanctions that they were going to recommend be imposed on Boris Johnson if he hadn't, flounced off and decided to step down as a member of Parliament? I mean, he got was going to get a 90-day suspension. Margaret Ferrier took COVID on the train with her, and she only got 30.
Yeah, well, I was pleasantly surprised, and a huge credit to this cross-party, a Conservative-dominated committee for writing the report they did. I think they spoke for the whole nation in making it clear that cross-party people believe that Boris Johnson is a liar. That's what people have felt.
But doesn't taking his pass off him, his former member's pass, doesn't that just look a little bit churlish? Doesn't that look a little bit petty?
No. This man misled Parliament on a very serious matter. It was a huge insult to tens of thousands of people who were grieving. He passed the laws. He had one law for him and another law for the rest of us. That was one of the worst examples of failure of leadership at the top of our country, our great country. He betrayed people's trust. And therefore, I think there should be these sanctions. Now, this committee, we didn't have a Liberal Democrat on, by the way. It was Tory and Labour MPs. And I support what they said. and they didn't have many other sanctions that they could impose. So they imposed the ones they could. And what Liberal Democrats are doing is saying, let's impose an even tougher sanction, which the committee couldn't, but Rishi Sunak and the Conservative government could if they had the strength to do it. I fear they don't. But I am making a second point today. And I do want to come back to this because I think it's really important.
We have 15 seconds left on the programme. So if you've can make it in 5 seconds, do. If not,
Parliament and the government should be helping people with their problems, with the cost of living at NHS, and get rid of this whole debate about this appalling man. Let's consign him to history.
You almost got it in. Sinead, thanks very much.